What up guys, I'm back with another video, and if you want to get to the fights for the way, skip right here. But today I'm going to get started with the showcases for UFC 322, which this card is stacked. In my opinion, it has the potential to be card of the year. This card has two huge headliners with two former champions trying to become a two-division champion. First off, we got the former strawweight champion Zhang Weili challenging the flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko, and for the main event, we got JDM attempting to defend his title for the first time against a big challenger, the former lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. So here is the main card of the pay-per-view. Like I mentioned before, this card is extremely stacked. So, some very great fights, at least on paper. There's a couple fighters that I would have wanted to showcase, like Aaron Blanchfield, Tracy Cortez, and Roman Kopylov, but they added him very late. As of today, they added him yesterday, which is today's Friday. But I'm going to try to showcase at least all 10 fighters on the main card, including Bo Nickel, who's on the prelims, who was originally supposed to compete on the main card. They switched him around with Beneil Dariush versus BSD, which in my opinion, I think is a great move. I think Dana White is trying to promote Bo Nickel a lot, something that he's not. I was very high on Bo Nickel at first, but after the UFC 300, I was not so much. And then after his performance against Paul Craig, that's what kind of sealed the deal for me, that Bo Nickel was not ready. And after the loss to our I forgot his name, Roman Dolidze. No, not Roman Dolidze. Roman de Ritter. Yeah, Rinner de Ritter. I think that's his name. I keep messing up his name. His first name is very hard. But after that loss, I knew he was not ready, and they very slowly need to build up Bo Nickel to be a big star that he claims to be. But I'm very much looking forward to this performance of Bo Nickel. His opponent is a grappler. I've never seen his opponent, unfortunately. All his fights that he's had, they all been on the Apex cards, and I'm not a huge fan of Apex cards, so I've never seen his opponent. But with that being said, let's get started with the showcase for the first showcase of this huge pay-per-view and the first ever showcase for Bo Nickel. So here we are for the first fight of the showcase, and we're facing somebody who's using Michael Venom Page. And since Bo Nickel is going up against a grappler, I wanted to try to stick to that, but I thought this fight was very interesting and pretty competitive for what it was. And since it's very short, I decided to include it. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have if it would have went any longer. But as you saw immediately, this guy is doing a very good job keeping the distance. He did trip us with a cheap kick to the body to trip us, and there's another very good job just using the leg kicks to create the distance, trying to keep me back from trying to shoot for a takedown. If I do, he'll probably push me back or catch me with a knee or something. But as you can see, he pushed himself to a corner, tried to go for a jumping knee, and I caught him with an overhand to stun him and drop him. Now right here, I'm taking the back. I try to get on the back position to jump on the back, but he managed to defend it surprisingly. And right here, he managed to get away from the cage. Nice kick to the body by MVP, followed up by the hook counter. And right here, I'm not doing this on purpose. I know I'm trying to shoot for takedowns, but for whatever reason, they weren't committing. But I guess at the same time, it looks good for us because it looks like we're faking. And to him, it looks like, oh, you'll never expect when I'm gonna do it. But I'm trying to do it, but it doesn't commit to it. It just does a partial takedown. And right there, we did manage to trip him right there with the cheap kick. Nice counter hook by MVP, but he didn't follow through with any pressure, probably because he didn't want to get countered or taken down possibly. Instead chose to showboat. Terrible flying knee, was way out of range. Nice cheap kick right there to the body to trip us. Nice high kick. Unfortunately, I wasn't even able to block it because of the way he threw it. And again, deciding to showboat. That could be the downfall of him if he's not careful. If I'm quick enough, I can catch it with something while he's in that vulnerable state of taunting. Right there, we do finally manage to get him taken down to the ground because he was trying to go for like a leg kick or a knee. I wasn't able to catch it in time. But right here, we're in top mount. He tries to posture up and get us off him right away. But it's basically over here. You can see he doesn't know what he's doing. He has a decent enough of a takedown defense not to get taken down. But he eventually did. And this is where we finished the fight. It was a decent fight for what it was. He had a very good idea of what to do and to avoid. Not a lot of people who are not good at the game know how to do that, and I'll applaud him for that. I'll give him extra credit for that. Um, as the fight itself, I'll give it like a 7. Again, it was a decent competitive fight. That's why I decided to keep it. The way he was actually doing a good job keeping the distance, because a lot of people would just throw wacky stuff. He was doing that with the flying knees, but other than that, he was doing a good job with the teep kicks, kicks to the legs, side kicks. So again, extra credit for him. Good job. But other than that, that's pretty much the end of the fight. One and done. And let's move on to the other 2 fights of this showcase. We're going up against someone who's using Hamza Chimaev, and I'm just gonna let you guys know is that this fight is really pretty short as well. Immediately he tries to shoot for an ankle pick. I defend it, but mostly because I was gonna have my hand out anyways to go up touch, but he tried to shoot for an ankle pick right away. And this is just gonna show you guys that this guy is not good. He's not good at all. Unfortunately, the season just restarted, so that is why these fights are very, very easy. Which just very much sucks. I hate when this happens. But this guy just shoots for takedowns and he doesn't even know how to deal with them. I'll give him credit that he's denying right here, but you guys are gonna see he does not know what he's doing at all. Other than just, I'm pretty sure he just drained it into his brain to how to defend the full guard transition. But immediately I got up right away, and you can see he tried to shoot for another takedown, but I defended it right away. And right here, he tried to shoot for another one, but he does get it. If he keeps shooting, he's gonna get it. My timing is terrible for defending takedowns. Also, he's using Hamza, so that is helping. But he did not know what he's doing, and he's not even trying to go for a full guard transition or submission. I don't know why he's even bothering with the takedown. He's not gonna win it off just control and these petty punches. But you can see he doesn't even know how to defend the get-ups right here in the sprawl position. But nice little uppercut right there by him. He tries to go for judo throw, but we defend it. Nice overhand by Hamza. Nice uppercut. And he's catching me because I'm trying to find an opening and see if I can shoot my own takedown. But right here, he does defend this. Me trying to get up. But certain things he just can't defend, which is the easiest in my opinion. He did defend that one that time. I'm just buying my time to use the case to get up right here. And eventually I do get this, as you can see right here. I do posture up, we still have a decent amount of time. Go in the backside position. I get on the backpack position, and you can see he's just draining his stamina, doesn't know what to do. Eventually I take him down in the rear naked choke position, lock it in. I do a decent amount of damage, and enough to take it back again in this back mount position. Go for the rear naked choke again. And he tries to get out of it right away, but I deny it. And I lock in the rear naked choke again to finish the fight this time. And tap out right there. And I don't know what I even messaged them. I hate when people pick a grappler and they don't even know what they're doing. They're just doing takedowns. Takedown after takedown. Like, why do that? Like, the chances of you running into someone that doesn't know what they're doing are very low to none. I just think it's a waste of time. I already messaged them. If you're not good at grappling, don't do it. Stick to standing. But with that away, let's just move on to the final fight, which is the best fight in the showcase. I do apologize for these terrible fights, last 2 fights, but with that away, let's just move on to the last fight. So for the final fight, we're going up against the man who is declared to be the welterweight GOAT, and in my opinion, I agree, Georges St. Pierre. This fight isn't perfect. Eventually, this guy does do stuff that discourages me, and we kind of brawl it out, not very cleanly. He does catch me right away. I forget how he did that, but Yeah, I tried to do a technical during at the start, but towards the end, he does kind of get to me, and I start to fight more unorthodox, I guess you could say. But yeah, it sucks because, like I said, the ring season just restarted, so that does not help him, right? Though we did catch him with an uppercut, though. And Bodnico is not very Bicetor or something like that. I can't really pronounce it. He's not really skilled with his moveset, so I can't do too much. He throws a couple leg kicks, a couple a body kick here and there, and just likes to spam that overhand a lot. He's very good on the ground. Sometimes, depending who he's fighting, though. Nice counter hook by Saint Pierre. He did cut us. Right here, I do shoot for a takedown. We're inside control. I go for the crucifix to see if I can even get it. I do. I land one elbow. Now we're in side saddle. Back into side control. I try to go back into crucifix. I do get it again very easily. I land two elbows and then deny that one, and I land another elbow, but he does manage to go back into side saddle. Now we're in backside. I posture up to do some heavy damage here, and then he does manage to get his bearings again. Very close to ending the fight, but unfortunately, stamina does take a key part of it. Part of that, not being able to finish it. He does get back on his feet. I don't remember. Never mind. I was gonna say I don't remember if I drag him back on the ground, but he gets back up. But immediately I shoot a takedown and I get it back into side control. I try to go for the crucifix, but he reverses the position, goes for the Kimura, and I thought he didn't know what to do on the ground, so I thought I would go for an escape, but he does deny it and gets a decent amount of submission damage. That's on my part though. And out of discouragement, I started just pushing buttons, and I accidentally pushed the start button. But that was my fault. I let my guard down, and he managed to get that. So I need to be careful that he doesn't get another submission hold. Otherwise, he can end the fight very easily. And this is where I start fighting more unorthodox. Change my game plan because he just took me off with that submission. Not that it's anything on him. That's my fault because I let my guard down. But I'm still allowed to be taken off. But we did manage to stun him with the overhand. But that was pretty much it. We need to be careful because he is landing a decent amount of damage. He does knock us down, but for whatever reason, he doesn't jump on it. Oh, never mind, because the bell rang. That's why. Would he have jumped if there was more time? Who knows? But that kind of did save us. That is his round. Unfortunately, he does show some respect. Caught him with a haymaker, followed by the uppercut, and then a hook to knock him down. Ground and pound for the finish. Do we get it? No, he survives. What a beautiful combo, though. If we can get into the full guard for the... Oh, never mind. I was going to say if we can get to the full out. He tried to go for the Kimura, but I saw it coming already, so I managed to deny it. We're in side saddle. I'm trying to push him up against the cage to get a better leverage. He tried to go for the guillotine position, but I defended it. And that's what I wanted. Now I'm going to go for the back, see if I can get the rear naked choke position, get the standing rear naked choke position. Right here I'm just landing some knees to the back of the glutes, or whatever you call it. Another overhand to stun him. He leaned into that one actually. And I'm trying not to be overzealous. I threw a high kick. Like I said, I changed my game plan, so I wasn't really fighting like Bo Nickel does. I threw something that he doesn't. A high kick, and it paid off. I knocked him down. Another overhand to knock him down, followed by the hook to knock him out. And that was, I'm not going to lie, this was a competitive fight. This guy was decent on the ground, and like I said, he wasn't too great on the ground. He was decent, but beautiful overhand, followed up by the hook to knock him out. I feel bad because we did GSP dirty, in my opinion. Other than that, I think my opponent did a good job. He did a good job, a decent job on the ground. He did stun us in the first round and then managed to knock us down. So he was a decent striker, nothing too crazy though. But I would give this fight like an 8 out of 10 in my opinion. It was nothing too great from both parts in my opinion. I could have done a better job, but I got too discouraged, especially after that submission damage. But I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I tried my best, but like I said, the season reset, so I'm working with what I have. But I do hope you guys enjoyed. This is the first showcase of the first pay-per-view showcases. But leave a comment, and let me know what you guys thought of the showcase. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.